we begin the lesson number 6. The page Bet 2, the right column in the Hasulam, the line 6, ויש בשושנה זו בית מצבים. How do you say double point? Okay. ויש בשושנה זו, and there is in this Shoshana, literally, two positions, two matzavim, two conditions, and or two positions. There are, we can say, but he says there is. We can better translate it there are. There are, in this Shoshana, there are bet matzavim, two conditions. Or two states, probably. Matzav shel zeven katnut. Dehainu shel tchalat hithavota she'az ein eit ba ela sfira achat keter שבתוכה מלובש נין אור הנפש שלה, ותת הספירות התחתונות שלה, תן נבחנות כנופלות לבר מאצילות. Point. Before we go further, before I'll start to translate this sentence, I need to give some introduction. After the shattering of the kilim and building up of the world Atzilut, every unit, every sphera, every partzuf, every world, every creature is divided in two parts, upper part and lower part, and the lower part. Because the Malchut came to stand somewhere in the middle of the Partzuf. And this is the condition, or this position, we call Katnut. And also our souls are built up in the same way. Also we are divided in two parts, upper part and the lower part. And the goal of all the creation, or the goal of the creation and all of our corrections during the 6,000 years of the existence of the world are to bring both these parts together, unite them as much as possible. What is possible to do, we must do. And the instruction how to do it is given in the Torah. And how to apply this, the Torah, is given in the Kabbalah, in the Zohar, and in the tree of life of Ari. Ari got his Kabbalah from the Zohar, and of course the revelation of the great revelations he got from the greatest Eliyahu Hanavi, the prophet Eliyahu. We see also in this world all the problems are coming due to the inability to unite these two. All the pleasures, all the sins in this world are coming only by due to the fact that there is no one religious or philosophical statement or method, and also not the scientific method that knows how to deal with the lower part. I mean, not physical, but the lower part, I mean, the wishes, the points of powers in the inner part of the human being, and no one no one can unite them. There are only the different approaches that are only polishing this inability, only the outer cultural polishing of the inability to bring these two together. And this double, and this brings the double life in a person. Yeah, this gespleten persoonlijkheden, hoe zeg je dat? Twofold personalities, all the problems, psychological, every problem, and all the problems of this world. And no culture can solve the problem, and no religion can make it, can solve solve it in the way that a person could be able to unite these two parts. And this twofold of the inner of a person comes also from this, the structure of the world Atzilut after its installment. After it was built up from the broken world Nekudim. And the first structure of the Atzilut after the building up of the world Atzilut, that was the condition or position, how we say it, state of Katnut, of short position, small position. Small means that is less than 10 sfirot, less than 10 sfirot of receipts, of receptacles, kelim, as we say, and 10 lights that should fill it, these kelim. And now the Zohar, we turn back to our Zohar. And maybe one point more. The Atzilut that was built up in the small position, a small state, was built up in such a way that it had Keter, complete, as it were complete, Chochmah and Binah. They had 10 points. Everyone had 10 points, like Sphira that has 10 Sfirots in itself, Keter, Chochmah, up till the Malchut. And Zeir Anpin had only 6/10 of of itself, and the Malchut had only 1/10 of itself. And the Zohar now speaks about the Shoshana, and the Shoshana is the Malchut in this state when she had only 1/10 above. What means she had only 1/10? Everything exists of 10 or 5, as we said. There is not less than that, and not more than 10. But if we say that there exists only 1/10, it means that only 1/10 is, as it were, above the water. Only 1/10 can receive, is able to receive some light. And the lower 9/10 of it are emerged in the lower part of this unit. Like the Shoshana. She has now only 1/10 above the water. Above the water means above above the upper half of the partsuf of this Shoshana. 6. Line 6. V'yesh b'Shoshana zo bet matzavim again, and this Shoshana, this water lily, and a rose, but now we're speaking about the hair condition as a water lily. This Shoshana has two positions, two states. Double point. Matzav shel 7 katnut, this small state. Dahainu shel tchalat hadhavata. That means the beginning of her becoming. She'az ein eit ba ela sfira achat keter. She'az, that then, ein ba ela, that she has only sfira achat, one sfira, keter. Shebetocha, that within it, melubash, 9, or hanefesh shela, that within it is melubash, how we call it, is enclosed, is clothed, the light nefesh of her. Tet hasfirot atachtonot, whilst the 9 lower spherots of hair, 10 nivchanot kinoflot levar me'atzilut, they are considered as falling outside of the atzilut point. It means outside of the point where the upper and the lower parts of the partsuf are divided. Maybe some more additional introduction. Up till from the middle point of the point of the dividing point between the upper and the lower parts of one spiritual body. Sphera, well, doesn't matter what it is. A sphera, a partsuf, a world, a creation, a creature, what doesn't matter? It doesn't matter what. Everything that lives, everything that has a life in itself, has also this building in itself. Then, in the upper part, can the light come in? And in the lower part, no, not. In the upper part can come the light of Chokhmah, but the upper part doesn't want the Chokhmah, the light of Chokhmah. The upper part wants only the light of Chasadim, of loving kindness, loving kindness. And in the lower part is the wishes are heavier, and they need, in order to come through them, in order to bring the life in them, they need a light of, the light of Chokhmah, the light of life. And they receive only some Chasadim, the light of Chasadim. Remember these terms. But this is not enough for them. They have more hunger for Chokhmah. As we learned in the matter of, in the issue of the four phases of the transforming of the light, that you remember that the Zeir Anpin already wanted to receive some Chokhmah, some light of Chokhmah, in order to give it to the Malchut, and the Malchut wanted all of it, to receive it all the light of Chokhmah. And that's what he says here. 6, after the double point. Matzav shel katnut, 7. Okay, the 10 after the point, really. Maybe a little bit before. We translated already up till the line 10, but I would like to add something, that the state of the katnut, the small state of this nukva. Why is she small? She is small because all the tendency of the now building up of these spiritual worlds, which are coming from above. Later will come Adam and the souls that would awaken themselves and the worlds for the corrections, and they will build themselves and the worlds due to their prayer, due to their good deeds, learning of the Torah. But now everything comes as an example from above. And all the tikkunim, all the corrections that now we see are coming in such a way that now, after the shattering of the kelim in the world Nikudim, that to make it safe, the world that is created, to make it safe, to make the kelim to broaden and to widen and to deepen the kelim and to lessen the lights. In such a way, the creation would, or creation is, I means, all what lower is, would be able to receive, to withstand this light. So we see that in the Atzilut first comes the small state. And in the small state we see only, the Shoshana has only one sphera above the we call it parsa, as you can find in the figures that already made in the former lessons. So only one sphera, and one sphera is Keter, is above the middle, and the middle, the place, is called the parsa, the dividing line. She has only one, and one, if we have one kli, then we have only one light. And yeah, like the principle of the two cylinders. So that when a kli keter is in a partsuf, then comes in it the light nefesh, the lowest light. So he said he said us that she'az ein ba ela sfera achat keter eight, that then in this state she has only one sfera, keter shebetocha, within it is situated the light nefesh of here, and the 10 lower sferot of here, from Chochmah and lower, it's considered that they are falling in outside of the Atzilut, so outside of the parsa that divides the world Atzilut and the lower worlds Bria, Yetzirah, and Asiyah. And that's why he said, Vehen 10, after the point, Vehen Baulam 11, Habriya, and they are in the world Bria, point. Try to be patient, try not to overhaste yourself, not just accept things. Everything will come. The study of Zohar is totally different from any other study of this world. You just make yourself open, receptive, and it comes, and then you get something here and something here, and more and more and more, and then you will see that you are more and more living in the reality, and not like in our world when you only feel that when everything is hidden, we can't rely on anything in this world without our connection to the upper world. It's like our building. We are built of two parts, upper body and the lower body. In the same way is the building of the spirit of the universe. There is also also everything is built in the same way. There exists nothing in the smallest part of the creation that doesn't exist in the entire creation. So we see the same building is, the same structure is in the whole world, that the upper part of it is a higher world, and the lower part is the lower world. So in our world we can't understand things properly without inner connection to the upper world. It means we need to make these two within us. We don't need to look outside ourselves. We have the same structure. So when we connect both the upper half of, when I connect an upper part of my inner structure with the lower part, then I can see at that moment, I can see there the whole picture of a situation. And at that moment, I don't need an advisor. I don't need to, then at that moment I see the truth. And not the lie. But a person who doesn't know this instruction and doesn't exercise this instruction lives just in the darkness, really darkness, and relies on some things that or everything is covered by a lie. 11 after the point. ועוד במצב של גדלות, שאז 12 מתעלות תת ספירות התחתונות שלה מן עולם הבריאה 13 אל עולם אצילות, והיא נבנית עמהן לפרצוף 14 שלם ב10 ספירות.